You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could. Yeah, and times are changing everywhere. Do we dream and do we dare? It's up to you, the door is open wide. Feel the rhythm of today, learn the part and join the play. The world is here, let's take it for a ride. You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could. Larger, larger than, bigger, bigger than, living hopes and dreams. Every boy and girl, higher, higher than, brighter, brighter than, all you wanted. You know, you could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You can have all you ever wanted. Hopes and dreams, every boy. You can fly higher than the sky.
y quedé solo con mi dolor. Yo que por ti daba hasta mi vida, me fui muriendo por tu traición, al darme cuenta que me mentías y que era de otro tu corazón. Porque eres falsa, como moneda de plástico. Te aprovechas de mí, porque fui siempre un romántico. Eres falsa, como moneda de plástico. Mentirosa, yo ya no creo en tu llanto. Con una sola de tus caricias me enamoraste. Con la primera.
Every Sunday morning, the sun shines bright. Grab your favorite mug, let's take flight. With the Coffee Time podcast, we gather around, talking about Colombia, where love is found. Expats share their stories, dreams unfold. In this coffee triangle, adventures bold. Oh, coffee time, bring us together. With laughter and love, we'll face any weather. From the mountains high to the valleys wide. In this coffee hug, we find our pride. From Medellin to Cali, Cartagena's shores. Exploring this country, we open new doors. Tips and tales shared, we laugh and we learn.
Good morning and welcome back to the channel Grand Colombia, and welcome to another Coffee Time Live here in Armenia, Colombia. Yeah, the ground is a-shaking. Try living on the top floor of a skyscraper. Yeehaw! And it's pretty far away, but we'll talk about that. I was out all week, went to a couple places. I'm going to show you a bunch of video clips. Sharik is off with her family in Cartagena celebrating her birthday, and smells really good in here. All right, so the temperature is about 77 degrees. We're going to have a high of 80 and a low of 64, pretty much the usual. And what else we got here? We have exchange rate 41.37 or 41.35. It doesn't matter. So that's not even a penny's difference. But I looked at it, I wrote it down, and then I got a message on my phone about 20 minutes later, and it was 41.35. And I whatever. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Pardon me. All right, so put some coffee behind me to remind me to mention it. Didn't I mention it? I have to put together some coffee videos for the coffee channel. I've been negligent because I've been out and you can only do so many things. So let's see, I got bourbon rosado, I got mocha, I've got Senna Cafe, all exotic coffees. All right, what else we got here? Good morning from Vancouver. How you doing? Our 51st state. And felt it here in Medellin as well. Yeah, it was I've had a lot of tremors a lot closer and didn't even feel them. But this one was not very deep in the ground. And so those are the ones that you tend to spread a lot further. This was the other side of Bogota. Okay, so I'm going to begin with Sharik, gone for a birthday. She sent me some videos, or mostly pictures, a couple video clips. And in the last one, it's like, oh my God, she's turned into a TikTok girl. Let me show you. her trip. This is she had to take the bus to Cali to meet up with her mother. First time flying, she got a hold of me and she was in a panic. And of course, you got to take the picture in front of the sign. I never saw those. I don't even know where those are. And that's pretty much hideous. And of course, the Umbrella Alley. They're everywhere. And what else we got?
Estos están a 30 camarones. Mire, vea todo eso. Acá es donde ustedes ir a comprar. Acá sí. Vea. No, esto es rico. Gracias. Vea, vea. Esto es.
Girl.
Lolita que anda solita, tu favorita, ra, ra, tres margarita, una diablita, Albi, la racata,
Oh my God. She has no shame. What's Dan say here? I was rinsing the shampoo out of my hair in the shower. I felt like I was going to fall over. I thought I was going to go through the glass. It was long lasting. I think it went about a minute. Let's see. 15 minutes after it happened, headline was already posted. Strong 6.5 magnitude earthquake shook Colombia and was felt in Quindio and Medellin and all over the place. And I took this right afterwards. This is the U.S. geographic, whatever. And you can see the location. About 15 minutes after this one was one southwest of it that was a 4-point something. I didn't feel that one at all. I'd say it was an aftershock, but not in the same location, but pretty close. So 6.5, 178, 180 miles away. It was a good shake. I had a couple things fall over here in the studio. It looks barren, but if you were to see the other side of the camera, it's a freaking disaster. I got boxes, I got coffee stacked everywhere. I got computer gear, and it's a disaster. Dan could attest, except it's 1,000 times worse than when he was here in the studio. But now that I'm feeling good, maybe I'll tackle that this week. Kind of put it back into shape. When I was on the verge of dying, I would pull things out looking for something. I would just leave it all. And Sharik would try to come in and clean it, but not in the studio. She's obsessive about cleaning, and I put something down and she's got to straighten it up and move it and clean it and scrub it, and it's something. But I've managed to keep her out of the studio just because I can't have her putting things where I can't find it. I could do that on my own, and I'm looking around. It's even worse than I thought. I wasn't really paying attention. All right. Anyway, enough of that. Only one news. There wasn't much in the news. It's just your typical, we did something notable in basket weaving and I don't know, just obscure things. But there was one thing that was interesting. They caught this guy here in Armenia. Super O, he's known for. Super O has fallen, ! Dangerous murderer captured in Armenia, sentenced to 50 years in prison. This guy is actually from Department Meta, which is where that earthquake just happened, the other side of Bogota. I don't know why he was here, but he was swept up because of the spike in crime we've had, there are police on every street corner. I don't know where they brought them from. They're everywhere. And they're basically doing the stop and frisk thing people complain about in the U.S. that they used to do in New York City to clean it up. Well, they're doing that here in a big way. Just yesterday, I went through a big traffic stop. I thought it was an accident because the traffic was all backed up. So anyway, they caught this guy, and he shot a 14-year-old kid, and a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old also got hit because he was shooting indiscriminately. And that's apparently why he ran away and was here. But he's got a rap sheet that's for extortion and fraud and all kinds of violent. He's a real scumbag. And he got here, and they welcomed him by putting handcuffs on him. I'm gratified to see that he didn't get here and get to hang out for a week. I mean, he got here and got caught right away. The police thought they recognized him. I read the story, and they thought they recognized him, but they weren't sure. He gave a false identity, but they hung on to him because they had an inkling. So they hung on to him and did a deeper search, called the headquarters, and found out who this guy really was, and then they dragged him off. There's an all-out effort right now to make sure that crime doesn't entrench itself. And most of the crime, it turns out, are from people outside of our department. Maybe because there's a lot of tourists that come. I don't know why. We've always had a lot of tourists come here, but we're having criminals get caught that are from Bucaramanga and Medellin and just all over the country. Not a lot of homegrown criminals here, apparently. So anyway, you live in the north, things are much better. All right, what do I got next? I got, those are the headlines. All right, so we're going to talk about travel. Is everybody still here? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it. And I got an ad read available. Should I take it? Should I do an ad read? I hate doing them. I mean, I really do. Maybe later. Yeah, a thing pops up and says, hey, you can get paid if you want to do this little ad read. Yeah, okay, where are we? All right, first video is probably going to be boring because it's 2 minutes long, but I've had a few people over the last year ask me questions about my parking garage. And then I got a flurry of questions when I had a little accident in the Ford that I had, scraping the side in the parking garage. And so, they've asked to show it. So I took a video clip of me driving up out of the parking garage. Maybe boring as hell. I think the ones coming up are far more interesting. But apparently there's enough people that took time to write to me asking about this. So I figured it's worth a little video clip. So here we go. My parking spot right in the corner. And because it's open there to the right, that's wide open. That's why the birds will come and perch and poop on the side. But they only did that with the black Ford. This silver Suzuki, not one time have they pooped on it. My hands were full. Camera, shifting, steering wheel. Yeah, this is what I have to do just to get out of my parking spot. You can see how dirty that windshield, the whole car is. It really needs to be washed because it sat there unused until this week for about 2 months. All right, here we go. I'm on Sultano Tres. The third floor down is S1, S2, S3. And there's S4. So I'm up on 2 now. It's riveting, isn't it? Really exciting. See, I have to be on the left side or I can't make the turn. So you don't want to go fast because every once in a while somebody will be coming around the corner. That's what happened in the Ford. And I had to swerve a little bit, or my instincts, and it scraped one of these poles. And here we go, up and out. It's fun getting out of here sometimes. Okay. If that bored you to tears, I apologize, but I already explained. All right. So what do we got next? Went to Manizales. Now, I don't want to go into my medical thing, but I do have to preface it. So the doctor told me that I have no restrictions on what I can do. I can get out and do things. I kind of misunderstood, thinking I was good to go. Well, half of my heart was not functioning. And so the blood starts flowing, and what happens is your heart starts regenerating. So the question is, how much of it is dead? How much of it will come back alive once blood is start flowing through it? And they don't know that for a while. So thinking I'm good to go, I'm thinking I'm cured. Well, no, because my heart hasn't regenerated yet. It's going through a process that could take a week, 2 weeks, a month. Don't know. Some of it may never. I find out I've got a couple appointments coming up where they look into that. So why am I saying this? Well, the thing is, my heart hasn't been an issue. It's my breathing, because you breathe through your heart. It pumps the oxygen through the blood. and it matters. You think, well, the breathing, well, that's good to go. Not really. It's got to go through the blood, or you're just not functioning. So I go to Manizales, not thinking about any of this. I'm just thinking, wow, I'm going to go make a video and walk up and down the street, because I've had a lot of conversations with different people about Manizales recently. So I was planning on going there and doing some videos on first day, stay overnight, and spend the next day videoing, come back in the afternoon. Lots of video, lots of things to talk about, update everything I've done a few years ago. Well, that was the plan. Mistake number one. Forgot about the altitude. Now, normally that altitude wouldn't bother me. It's a little over 7,000 feet. But in this situation, it's a problem because I have a problem breathing where I am. And up until recently, for 7 weeks, I had an oxygen machine, that thing, and because I wasn't getting any oxygen, particularly since when my heart was not fixed yet. So I get the altitude and I'm feeling it right away. So then I start walking, and where I stayed, you had to climb up out of a hill, steep hill, climb up out of there. And I was winded. It was pathetic. I mean, I was ashamed of myself, to be honest. About every 50 feet, I had to stop and take a breather. It was ridiculous. I haven't done that since way back when I had cancer, and I'd been in bed for a couple of years. You know, of course, then I just couldn't breathe. I couldn't catch my breath. So I'd have to stop for a while and get some breath back. And the thing is, when you're not breathing, everything shuts down. So I'm climbing up this hill. Then I go over to the mall and I go sit down. I have a coffee, and that was an awesome place I used to go. It's got this beautiful view from the coffee shop. Coffee's good. And so that was fun. It was nice to go back and relive that. And the